I tell you honestly, everything in this world is about integrity. People will come and I have some young folks coming to ask me, they don't have any jobs, this and that, please help us, whatever. And I keep on telling them, jobs are too many in this world. There are too many jobs even in Nigeria. Too many, even with the situations we have now. What we don't have and what is scarce is actually integrity. People who are honest to do the right thing against all odds. If you find those with little training, they would learn. Everybody would like to even employ those that you can trust, but train them, and not the smart ones who are very competent and know everything about lies, and they will use it to actually scoop you up. It doesn't make sense. So there are jobs. I'm a living witness from grassroots to wherever I've attained up till now. Nobody has written one recommendation, go and meet this person, no contact. It has always been meeting people one-on-one, building my relationship as, just like YALI said. And most of these things came from just ordinary background. And I discovered that the world lies around there. So if there's nothing you're taking up today, please pick that Mr. YALI said. That makes a lot of sense. Do we need science and technology to improve the quality of our future leadership? Do we actually need science and technology to improve leadership? Do we need that? And that's what the topic is all about. So answering these questions, I had to make the reviews I told you, just little research, to get what the perspective could be in the literature before I now join my own opinion to that. That will be my conclusion. So the first section, like I mentioned, is a subjective review. And what did I do? I actually went to a lot of information in the internet, literature, books, articles, and so on and so forth. I wanted to check the two main components of this topic. First is technology, the other one is leadership. So I called it desk review. Desk review, if you are familiar with research or if you're into that. So you just look at what people have said and come up with some findings. Now the desk review, first I looked at the qualities for leadership or qualities of leadership. What are they? Then secondly, I looked at the benefits of technology or advantages of technology, and then I tried to merge the two to see if these benefits actually could help us build these qualities. And that was the first review, which is the subjective review, before I get to the empirical. So what I did now was to look at the common qualities of leadership. So I looked at various sources, so many of them, and you find some telling you 20 characteristics or 20 qualities of leadership. Some will say 10, 17, 30, so many of them out there. But I picked on those that are more common, that frequently appeared in many sources. So those qualities, and I came about I think 7 or 8 of them. So I didn't look at all of that, but there's so many I could tell you, but just let me say these are the ones I know that are very common there. So the first one, which is the biggest masquerade of all, is what? The biggest masquerade of all the qualities for leadership is what? Integrity. Thank you so much. That's the biggest of all. And that's why I went there, I told YALI, I said, even if you spend 7 days talking about it, it's not enough. This is the only thing that we need in Nigeria right now. So integrity or honesty. Then the second one, empathy or compassion. The third one, respect or tolerance. The other one, ability to inspire or motivate or influence. The next one, passion or patriotism or commitment. They are all the same. When I use "or," it means that it's making reference to one construct, the same thing. Then you have courage, ability to stand tall, to say the truth, stand tall for justice, for what is right, against all odds. That courage. Then humility is also the same as selflessness, service to others. Then the last I have here is communication. Ability to communicate your vision, your ideas effectively, that even the least man of your members or population or citizens or followers could understand your vision and ideas and run with it. It's not just so easy. When you talk about communication, it's not about speaking the best of English or vocabularies. No. Whichever that you're going to make it down for everyone to understand, they will appreciate that. Now, these are the qualities of leadership. Then we'll now move to benefits of technology. Under benefits of technology, I got easy access to information and knowledge, improved engagement and collaboration, improved communication and learning, cost efficiency, ease of mobility and travels, time efficiency, and improved productivity. These are advantages of technology. Now, the question here is, looking at these advantages or benefits, please listen, I might ask you this question directly. Looking at these advantages, could one say that because you have easy access to information and knowledge, could that build your integrity and honesty? Does that make sense to you? This is one advantage of technology. For the fact that you have easy access to technology, you have ease of mobility, you have time saved as in efficiency. These things, do they in any way improve your sense of empathy, feeling the pains of others? Because you have the best of phones, the best of cars, speed cars, sports cars, and what again? All those that technology can give you. In the real sense of it, technology can never be oversized. The impact and the benefits have come up today. It's so amazing, it's unbelievably huge. I can't even imagine life without technology now. Even though we are born during the time of analog phone, I met mobile phone and so on and so forth. But now, you can't even think back to see what was life like before mobile phone. Those days, I can't even imagine it. So when you think of the products, the innovations we find in technology, they are so huge. But the question here in this presentation, in this topic, is that do they in any way improve our qualities, like YALI has deeply expressed? Now, the key answer here is that as big as technology is and has done so much for us, one key limitation of technology is that technology is subject to our choices. It's subject to our choices and application. What do I mean by choices of application? No matter how good technology is, you still have the choice to make use of it, what is good or what is bad. Am I right? Am I right? No matter how good technology is, it is subject to choice. So you can choose to use it for what is wrong, use it to serve people, or use it to destroy people. So technology doesn't give us, it's not controlling our choices. But when you think of leadership, leadership has no room for whether you want to do good or bad. The qualities of leadership are already on the side of positivity. Leadership is saying, for you to be a leader, you have to be honest. So there's nothing like honesty or bad honesty. There is no room for trying to be bad about leadership. Anybody you hear today like bad leadership comes from this attitude of someone having a leadership position and decides to use that for himself or for something else, for what is bad. And they'll call it bad leader. Actually, in the real sense of it, there's nothing like good or bad. Leadership is leadership. So what you refer that person as is that person is not a leader. Not even whether bad or leader. There's no option. Integrity, empathy, sympathy, compassion, courage, all those things are all on the side of positivity. But technology is not giving you that option. You must stay on positive. If I have AK-47 gun, you know how powerful it is? I have an option to use it for anything, right? I can decide to use AK-47 to protect my community from wild animals attacking them, from bandits attacking them, right? That's my choice. That's what is good. I can also use AK-47 to oppress my community, steal from them, kill them, all manners of things. They are my choices. That is technology for you. Technology doesn't give you, I can be the best in ICT. That's my knowledge, that's my skills. But I can as well decide to use my skills for Yahoo, for corruption, for anything. This is one thing, if you've not learned anything today, pick this. Technology is subject to our choices Leadership is not. Leadership is good and all good. If you are not there, you are not a leader. There's no way trying to make whether you're bad or not. The same thing applies to education. Education, you are so educated, you are this, you are that, you're a professor of political science or international studies. But again, you can decide to use your qualification to rig elections. You can decide. Use your qualification as a professor to rig election. It's your choice. You can be a lawyer, be a judge, do everything. You can be so learned that you understand the tenets, the weaknesses and strengths of law. But a good person with all those skills that you've learned with everything, you can decide to use the strengths of law to protect the powerless and give them justice. You can as well decide to use the weaknesses of law because you're so learned to subvert justice against the powerless. The last section or the second section is about the empirical part or the objective part. The objective part of this topic, I decided to just go online, look at some numerics and some data to see what that data is saying about technology and leadership, besides what I've, the opinion and narratives I've gotten from the literature and information sources. Now, what did I do? I went online, I checked several sources. And let me tell you, I didn't just go there to pick anything because I wanted to also try and verify some of those figures. But before you do that, like I said, because I'm coming from the academia, you don't just go in there and pick anything. I looked at, I considered several criteria for picking sources that will give me the data I want. And the data I looked at was, I looked at countries who are doing marvelously well in technology. Top 10 ranked countries that are technologically advanced. I also looked at another attribute of leadership and looked at the top 10 countries doing well in that quality. And I wanted to see, how can I compare these two lists? Can someone say that these countries that are doing so well in technology are also doing so well in leadership? So that we could connect the two attributes to say, because of your technology, it has made you get good leaders. These are the things I did. And it took me quite a long time. It's not like I go there and pick anything. So before I pick any source to this is the chart they will show you now so that you follow. Before I pick any source, I looked at the validity of the source. What I call brand validity means certain sources that you know that are likely to be quoted or cited by authors or other sources. So they are well known, for that kind of job. Then the robustness of methodology of assessment. I also look at the recency of publication, the ones that are more recent. So I wouldn't pick 2008 or 2010, except if there is no recent publication on that attribute. Then I looked at the availability of results, consistency of information source, and relevance of content of the assessment. Okay. So, the first list. Please, can you show? Now, look at that. So, oh no, this is not the first. Okay, yes. Okay, good. So if you can see, look at this list. The first column there are the technologically advanced countries, the first 10, and I picked that from the worldpopulationreview.com, 2021. And they assessed, one good thing about WBPR is that they looked at aggregate of 10 rankings of different sources. So when you look at it, we see Japan first. Fine. So we see Japan, Korea, China, United States, Germany, Russia, so on and so forth. That's the first 10. Then this second part is, I call it integrity or less corruption index. Why I use this? Because I couldn't find any particular index of leadership. But again, because integrity is the core reflection, the main components and the main quality of leadership. For example, I think 35th or 34th President of the United States, that's Dwight Eisenhower, said, and I quote, that integrity is unquestionably the supreme quality for leadership. So in all sources, many people recognize that the first one is that integrity. So I used the integrity list, which I got from the Transparency International. And when you look at the list, Denmark, Finland, New Zealand, and so on and so forth. Now, what comes out clearly here is that only 30% of the technology list made the transparency list, or sorry, the integrity list. So help me, I'll call this leadership list for sake of reflection and this context, and the other one technology list. So only 30% of them were in this list. So 30% will serve as a kind of a scale or score. However, I didn't end here. I also now wanted to look at some other attributes of leadership and politics and military and so on and so forth. Let me know which of these attributes that these countries will align more with, so that one can make a sense of association to say maybe technology is likely to improve certain attributes, while the integrity of the leadership is likely to do the other way. So let me not stop here. I looked at other attributes. So next slide. So I looked at the one they called most powerful countries. Most powerful countries. I don't just look at name. I always look at the components and the contents of that descriptions on those assessments. So on the side of most powerful countries, the other one has to do with military, economic, and political power, political influence. And when you look at that, that's from, you discover, okay, please. So when you look at that, you discover that 70% of the technology countries made this list, while no country from the leadership list is here, not even one. I move further, because this one combined military, economic, and political. I move further to look at the one that looks more on military. And you have the most powerful military might index that contains equipment in military, quality of training, effective strategies, and number of personnel. And when you look at that as well, you will discover that 60% of the technology country were here, that's while none of the leadership country, none was in that list. So one could infer to an extent that it looks like technology power more of political and military power. It's very, very clear. That's their choice. That's their choice. They've decided to use it for that when it comes to destruction of humanity and mankind. Then next one. Then let's go to attributes of leadership. The next of leadership is living standard, quality of life. Wherever you have a good leader, with all those attributes, the citizens are smiling, they are happy. I will follow YALI. You know, when you have a righteous person in power, you know what happens. So when you look at living standard, please watch this critically. Only 20% of the technology countries were here, while 70 of the leadership country made this list. Top 10 of them, top 10. Then you go to happiness. I never knew there was something like happiness, happiest countries in the world. And I was happy to see that from World Population Review 2023, most recent. And when you look at that, you discover again that 70% of the leadership country, the integrity country, made that list. 20 of the technology made it. That's all. 2070. Let's go down again. Next slide. Global Peace Index measures the level of domestic peace and safety in that country. How peaceful. When you travel there, you don't even need to. I remember one of my friends in Netherlands. I dropped my wallet. I went to the hotel and discovered, and I was mad. I went to the hotel to complain. The way the lady answered me, I was so embarrassed. You know, it was like, where are you coming from? I was responding like a Nigerian. He said, no, it's okay. Oh, no. Where I mentioned, he just said, go to the, I think it's a kind of civic something, but like police station. Go to the nearest civic something, that area. She directed me, gave me the map and everything. Go there, ask them of your wallet. If truly you left it there, pick it from there with all confidence. With all confidence. And I'm not surprised that Netherlands makes most of those lists. And I went there, my brother. I didn't go to where I lost it. In a park, where they were doing some music show. Enjoyed myself there. And I came back to my hotel. I went there to that civic center. They say if I see it, you like access. They were not even trusting, they were not even doubting me that I could pick somebody else's wallet. And they brought them out, and I saw my own. I picked it, I opened it up, everything was intact. And I went back to the hotel and asked the lady, how come? He said, no, that's our culture here. Anybody that picks it, it's that person's responsibility as a citizen to take that wallet before you go to work, even if you're in a hurry, take it to there, drop it before you continue to eat. It's common. No, that's how we do. What a country. Sanity of the highest level. Government and authorities taking care of their citizens. Integrity of the highest level. And the same Netherlands, you must have heard, that at some point they started closing up prisons. Because nobody goes to jail anymore. They closed up prisons to build schools. Next one, sir. So you can see 30-50 and 10-60. Then this one, social and moral development index. This one is where the morality comes in. And when you look again, this is very clear. 10% against 70. What is trying to tell you? Technology, for those that are thinking that when you get more technology, you become better. No. There's something it does in you that you don't even know. It increases your cravings for more. And leadership has nothing to do with you seeking more when others are suffering. That's nothing. There's no place in leadership you find that. But that is what for technology for you. Now, another thing I want to tell you is that when you look at those 10%, 20% of technology countries making that leadership attribute, those 10% and 3% and so on and so forth, most of them are the same countries that made integrity lists. So they are not making this list because they have technology. They're already on the integrity list. That means they already had a culture of civil and cultural living, lifestyle and standard before bringing in technology. And I will tell you, once they bring that technology, they may not be thinking of military. They will think of the citizens first. They are bringing military to protect their own, not to go and influence any country and, as most of them will do. So these are just my findings, and I will now run my conclusion and end it here. So in my conclusion, I said the main problem in the world is not scarcity of resources, as we are taught in economics. In economics, we are taught about scarcity of resources, right? I want to say a bit about this. Forgive me if this thing doesn't go well with you. Are you aware that most of the things you are taught in school were lies? Are you aware? In the name of, let me be kind. In the name of one kind of education that they brought to you to study, are you aware? Education should actually help you to understand whom you are, appreciate your environment, and raise your talent and your gift to serve. That is education. Any education that's making you feel like you want to be somebody else. From secondary school, you're thinking of Jackpa. I am sorry. But we don't blame them. For example, they are teaching us that in economics, a concept, a construct called scarcity. And don't worry, resources are scarce. You need to make more savings. You need to know how to manage your money and this and that. One of the highest lies I've never heard before. Even though they taught me that, I wrote that in exam, I passed. But I grew up to discover that God has provided more than enough resources in this world to cater for 1 generations of mankind. 1 million generations of mankind. Nature has provided for everything. Why do we have scarcity? Because one person decided to because he was taught that resources are scarce. So anyone where you see, grab, save it for tomorrow. Save, keep saving, savings, and so on and so forth. I will tell you today, I know about a community that doesn't know anything. They don't even use money. They still trade on barter. They don't know about all these economic concepts. And they were the happiest. Because they don't even bring them. They're not more like of a country. They're also under administration. But they are so happy. They provide as much as they need. All they care is about others. They don't know anything about money. Do you need plantain? Okay, come and take. How many? Say, no, just one for today. I'll come back tomorrow. So that another person will see plantain to take. Hey, okay, please, you are a herbal doctor. I'm having some stomach. Okay, come, see these leaves. Nobody talks about money. So the world, the economics never told us that nature has provided enough for every man. If only you can take what you need, everybody will be happy. But it's teaching us that it's scarce. Give us the spirit of hustle. Then save. If one person can save for 10 generations, the money that he will never finish in life, while others are going hungry. Part of my conclusion, There's also nothing like lack of sufficient technology, as the inventors attempt to convince mankind, the inventors of technology, they attempt to convince us that in order to make more money, so when they bring more technology, they want you to buy so that they make more of the resources. And as well, they make us keep seeking more. No, that is not the problem of the world. The main problem of mankind is in our choices and decision to have it all. If we make the right choices in our actions with what we have today, based on moral intelligence. I don't know what have you heard of that word? Moral intelligence, have you heard of it? MI. You can go and Google it. So based on moral intelligence, we may not need more technology than we have, because happiness does not depend on acquiring more, but in contentment and fairness in our relationship with others. This is what true leadership attempts to provide for us. Any knowledge or skill without character is dangerous to the society. Knowing little, but using it for the right purposes, is better than knowing more and using it wrongly, against the society. Leadership is absolutely a product of moral intelligence, while artificial intelligence is a product of technology. In reality, we need more moral intelligence, that is MI, than artificial intelligence. Moral intelligence by nature will equip us with the right choices based on moral principles that govern humanity. MI will help us with the right choices to make the best use of the knowledge, skills, talent, inventions that we acquire to make the world a better place. AI, that's artificial intelligence, leaves us to our weaknesses, or our weaknesses to always seek more and make more wrong choices with our inventions. The greatest limitation of technology up to this moment I'm talking to you is the inability to control our choices. So if you ask me, do we need more technology? I will say yes, we need more technology. I have a dream for a future for technology. I encourage every young person here who is brilliant in technology to seek the technology that will make us to be more honest, to say the truth, be incorruptible, and stand by justice against all odds. We need more technology that will make us to be more forgiving and patient with each other, and not desire to be faster than life itself. We need more technology that will make us more humble, respectful, peaceful, tolerant, to know that the views and opinions of others also matter. We need more technology that will make us selfless and service-oriented, with the understanding that human beings depend on each other's service to survive. We need more technology that would make us more morally intelligent, to help us make positive choices that will improve our leadership qualities. We need more technology to be human in our relationship, because actually we are humans and not robots. For now, these are what leadership stands for and not technology. So if you ask me to revise the topic of this presentation today, which is the technology and digital transformation shaping the future of leadership, I will change it to leadership transformation shaping the future of technology and digital applications or information. I believe that most countries who made the top 10 technology list and integrity list, the countries that made the two lists, had actually demonstrated a culture of moral intelligence among their citizens before into technology. And there we'll be able to use the technology to make the right choices and apply the benefits of technology for the right reasons. So, which is actually to improve the living standards of their citizens. I remember one common example that comes to mind each time I think about this. It just happened recently. When you are so-called leaders and members of the National Assembly, they have the option of getting a more recent technology of automobile, the one that flies, that can grow wings at 60 million plus, and another option on the side of leadership to have empathy and be sensitive to the plight of citizens that voted them. Which one did they go for? Which one did they go for? So that 160 million technology automobile that they're going to purchase, is it going to make them more honest? Is it going to make them more empathic, sympathetic, compassion, courageous, humility? Is it going to do any of these things? But you can see where technology belongs. Craving your urge, fantasy, against the qualities. So that's where you cannot just mix the two. So the answer to my presentation question, which is, do we need technology to improve quality of our future leadership, is actually no. Advancement in technology means improve the quality of leadership. Rather, I will go looking at your education system from grassroots. That is one thing I think maybe people might think of, you know. So, besides that, by the time you improve the quality of our leadership, you will improve the quality of application of your technology to improve the living standards of their people. And that is what leadership stands for. So at this moment, thank you for listening.